really difficult to know the full scale of this crisis without more testing. And when it comes to testing, it seems Texas is near the back of the pack.
We should point out that Governor Abbott plans to lay out his reopening plan tomorrow. For context, though, fewer than 1% of all Texans have been tested.
Tonight, Channel 2 investigates why we're not seeing widespread testing and why that is the key to getting things reopened.
The coronavirus pandemic growing in the United States. Right here in Texas, more than 16,600 people have it. More testing sites opening every day, but still, are we testing enough people? The numbers may surprise you, even shock you. What percentage of the population of Texas do you think have been tested at this point?
Honestly, I'd say less than 5%.
Maybe like 20 to 30%.
I would think closer to 40.
I would say not very many.
Give me a percentage, just
25%.
I'd probably say about 15 or 20.
15 or 20%?
Yeah.
15%?
Not even close. In the great state of Texas, with a total population of 29.5 million, the total number of people tested so far is 146,000, meaning the percentage of people tested in our state is 0.5%.
It's mind-boggling. You know, I mean, this is definitely something that we should take serious. I mean, I think the tests need to be administered, you know, as quickly as possible.
What's your reaction to that?
Shocked. A lot of more people need to be tested.
A quick look at the numbers in other states gives a snapshot of how Texas is doing as well. In New York, the hot spot of the nation, with a population of 19.4 million people, 499,000 have been tested. That's 2.6% of the state. In Louisiana, our neighbor, with a population of 4.6 million people, 118,000 have been tested. That's also 2.6% of the population. In New Jersey, with a total population of 8.9 million folks, 140,000 have gone through testing, which means 1.6% of the total population has been tested. And in Florida, with a total population of 21.5 million, the numbers show 205,000 have undergone testing, which is a solid 1% of the populace. So how do those on the front lines think Texas is doing?
I've read that it's 49th out of 50 in one place, so we're relatively under testing compared to other places.
Christopher Amos is director of the Institute for Clinical Research at Baylor College of Medicine, and he says we will need to do much more testing, especially with people who live close together, people living in concentrated areas.
We're going to have to be very aggressive in testing for people that live in close quarters, you know, people you know, that can't do social distancing.
And when we do start reopening Texas, more testing, he says, will be essential.
So we have to ramp up our testing a lot so that we can control better the spread of the infection and catch it earlier, and then quarantine, you know, separate people completely in those situations.
And finally, in terms of the total number of people tested in the United States overall, with a total population of 328 million people, the total tested stands right now at 3.1 million, which is exactly 0.9%, which is less than 1%, but still slightly higher than the number of people tested in the state of Texas.
Health officials tell us we will see a ramp-up of coronavirus testing in our area in the weeks to come. Part of that will involve drugstores actually getting involved. In fact, Walgreens is set to begin free coronavirus testing tomorrow at 2 of their locations. The Walgreens at 14531 Westheimer in Houston, and also at the Walgreens in Pasadena at 101 West Southmore Avenue. The tests will be given by appointment only. We have a link on how to do that, how to make an appointment at clicktohouston.com. I'm Bill Spencer, KPRC, Channel 2 Investigate.